Welcome back, guys. We've had two. Hey, don't mock my entrance. Like, pew, pew, pew.
I just saw it out my peripheral vision in the screen. We'll say that. So I was like, hey,
Cool. Actually, I remember doing that with Max because Max would like go a certain way, and I mocked his kind of style. So yeah, the tables have turned. Yeah. So welcome back, guys. We've had two games already. We've had one Erangel, one Miramar. First game was taken by Tempest confidently. Second game, as we just saw, was taken by Quick Math. And this is the overall standings after those games.
Yeah, Airstation Mike, look how close PG18 are behind them on the points. They need to do something in these next couple of games if they do not want to lose that first place standing. And then, of course, you look at Tornado Energy and Milky Way. Milky Way finally lost their fourth place. We said it would happen if they didn't do something.
Oh boy, indeed. And you do see kind of as we trickle down Quick Math, after a strong second game, they jump up to sixth place. There's been no super duper change in the positions, Tempest. They were in 12th, they dropped back down to 13th, and that's just because you only got a couple more points overall. It's still really close in the standings. It's interesting to see how much closer Tornado Energy can get to the top three, because like me and James were talking about, like in the first week, they were struggling to make the top 12.
Yeah.
And now look at them, they're in fourth.
Yeah.
They've overtaken Milky Way, and they're getting closer to the likes of 3D Max, PG18, and Airstation Mike.
They just needed that week one warm-up. That's what it was. But, I mean, yeah, of course, it is interesting what you see InsideGames and Last Crew. They're sitting on the same total number of points, same for Tempest and Northern Lights. And the important thing about those two teams is because they are sitting at 13th and 14th, they are at that cusp of actually making it into into the top 12, and that's going to be really important there. So one of them's going to have to get on top of the other one if they are to even be able to do that.
And we're definitely getting to the point where we start talking about every single game counting.
Yeah.
I know every single game kind of counts from the start, but with so many games, you can go, okay, well, we can afford to have, like, let's say, this many bad rules, give or take, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And based on the average points needed per game to kind of get into the top 12 based on previous phases. Now we are 23 matches gone. This is the midpoint. It starts kind of thinking, okay, look, we're 24 matches gone and we're still 13th.
Yeah.
Yes, we're close, but every game that we get 0 point, every game we get 1 point, we are making it harder for us.
At that point, the amount of matches that you have left to fix it is the amount you've already had.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely getting to that point. Now, the playing trajectory was very central from west to east.
Yeah, once again, giving these teams just a strong chance to generally land where they want to. Joker's heading up north. Which is where they were last time. It's interesting. We were saying how they kind of changed their preferred, landing spot, and they're actually going back to similar. But actually, it's probably going to work out for them a little bit better here because of where the circle has gone.
Nice central circle. A normal circle. It's just like, look at this. A normal circle. This, boys and girls, this is what a normal
like
circle
no big
like.
water, no Leonis, no like Valdemar where you have to get across the bridge. Just, a nice, I'm tired and I want a cup of coffee at the end of the day circle.
It's a Sunday drive circle. In my eyes,
Yes,
it's a Sunday drive circle.
Yes, you're so right. You're so right.
It is still going to be tough because a good few of these teams are on the east side of the circle. But because it's kind of central, there is a lot of ways to get into the central circle, or there's a lot of ways to kind of get into the north side. There's so many entrance points that it's really not going to be too hard for these teams. It's just, again, you just got to make sure that you create that space when you find that compound you want, and just create that gap for you so you can just kind of stay safe coming into these next couple of phases and hope that circle shifts in your direction.
The interesting thing is just obviously so many of these teams are kind of landed in similar spots to where they were last time because of the similar plane trajectory. So we have Milky Way off where they were before, Airstation Mike pretty much where they were before, and they got really caught out because they got really kind of pincered and I said it earlier, sandwiched. And because you're still going to have more teams coming in from the east, are we going to see a repeat of what we saw before where some of these teams get caught out in the middle as they try to rotate into this circle?
Well, when we look at Airstation Mike as an example, ToWzErA is starting to move on forward a little bit more into the center, but I think he's just scouting for now. Unity have started moving in up north a little bit sooner than expected. You look at Tempest, they have a lovely Picado all to themselves. So they're going to move up towards the central area, probably take the road around and kind of move up, but they're going to be getting closer to the likes of Quick Math, even Airstation Mike and Unity. And then like when you look at the southern teams like InsideGames, Northern Lights, they're generally kind of safe to move in. No real huge pressure. It is going to be tough for Team MOOPHEUS, but they're going to shift up north. However, they're going to get closer to the likes of ELGIGANTEN and Milky Way.
And ELGIGANTEN, they were a team that I was personally looking out for on the last one, and they did end up getting caught out. And we did see they lost their 6th place spot. They've slipped down into 7th now. So, this could potentially be a map where they're going to want to make that up. They did really well on Miramar yesterday. Can they repeat what they managed to, how they managed to find the success in the magic in their gameplay yesterday? These are going to be things that we're wanting to look out for. But you're right, they do have Team MOOPHEUS kind of on their tail. But again, they've had a really difficult week and a bit, and it just doesn't seem to be looking. They try to go for these engages and they try to take these opportunities, and it always gets thrown back in their face. Although now we're actually seeing Tempest start to move on to YMCA a little bit. Clip taking a couple of shots, but YMCA, they're just going to turn around and actually drive away since they've got some vehicles. Turbo Banani is going to sort of stay there looking out onto them. He'll get some intel and those sights. Wookie Bookie's going to be moving forward a little bit.
Well, they've got to be careful because Northern Lights are coming in from behind and you hear those shots popping off. That's why they're driving forward. They're actually not driving forward directly by choice. They're driving forward because they kind of have to. They have to get away from the team behind them, which in this case is Northern Lights. The good thing for them is that YMCA, they're kind of going away from them, so it's automatically creating that little bit of extra space for Tempest to get away from Northern Lights. And it's just that kind of chain reaction. One team moves forward, another team moves forward, and another team then from behind moves forward.
Well, speaking of teams moving forward, that's what MOOPHEUS are going to be doing. But ghostar, seeing if he can get some damage onto them. It looking like they're not going to be falling for the bait. They don't want to get involved in that too much and instead just find a play. Yeah, I think that's smart from them. It's something where they've been caught out quite a few too many times, you know, we should say. And it looks like they just want to focus a little bit more, survive a little bit longer, wait for a more preferable situation.
Yeah, so you look at the center circle, you have 3 or 4 teams around there. You have Airstation Mike, you have Tempest, you have Quick Math. And I'm going to say actually YMCA and even Tornado Energy. This good thing for Quick Math is they're in a bit of a 2-2 split. Team Moose, they found that angle, but Double actually has gone a little bit further away to be a bit of a scout for his team. Jokers are moving in from the north. You have BetterLuckNxTime and Last Crew moving in from the northwest side. And Milky Way now making their way through from the northeast.
I quite like this positioning of Airstation Mike because they're occupying this high ground, and really if anyone wants to get up to them, they're going to have to take that kind of single road that leads to them. So that puts them in quite a good position, and it means that other teams around them have to be vigilant about what their sight lines are. Yeah,
I really like the position that Airstation Mike hold on to. They're a team that are always proactive with their rotations.
Yeah.
As I mentioned yesterday, from talking to ToWzErA, they have a lot of intel on the teams around them. Sometimes it's not always going to work out, but you know, the more information you have, the more times it is going to work out in your favor, and the more control you're going to have in that moment. As the boom from Jokers, followed by TheTab looking to connect onto Unity.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I don't know if they know where Double is. He's actually over kind of in the distance a little bit, but they are in this situation where Unity, they have a little bit more cover Jokers don't have that so much, although they are closer to the road. So if they need to back out, get in a vehicle and get away, that is still a possibility. But they do have to be aware that Moops are also facing them. But the shot's going to connect with the double, just bringing him straight down. It's going to make him the second player to be falling. Oh, look at him. He's so lifeless there. Just next to his motorbike.
You're so dark.
The ragdolling in this game is quite nice because it's very subtle.
Honestly, it's scary, really.
Yeah, it's like you see someone rolling down the hill a couple of times while their teammates are just like, okay, we've decided not to res them. We're going to continue on. And you just see their teammate rolling.
You said it in such a sadistic manner,
Oh, you called yourself a sadistic caster earlier.
Yeah, but just with
the
circle rotation, that's different. I don't want to see people die, goddammit.
You're in the wrong game.
I don't take pleasure in it. Anyway, with the rotation that Milky Way made their way through, they were coming from the east or the northeast, and they're actually shifting across to the northwest, just outside of La Cabrera. So I like that for Milky Way. They've gotten away from Jokers, but now they need to find the position they want to because Phase 2 is going to be coming up very soon.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good position for them if the circle does end up moving up to that northwest, which we will find out very shortly, as you say. But what's kind of nice is that we do sort of have everyone in there. Okay, it's going kind of northeast.
Yeah, but they could have stayed in the northeast direction. They would have been on their own. They might look to re-rotate to where they were if they were confident with that. But maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a reason why they shifted from the northeast to the northwest. Maybe they weren't happy with their northeast location and they weren't confident with it. They don't seem to be heading back in that direction. So obviously, they just weren't happy being in the northeast. Which, hey, look, they're the ones that are playing. They know their game. They know their strategy. Let's see if it works out for them.
And of course, as we said earlier, they've got a little bit more pressure on them now because they finally lost their spot in the standings to Tornado Energy. So they've actually fallen a little bit. They've got that risk, so they want to be playing specifically in their comfort. But Innocutive, oh my God, how many times are we going to call this guy out? So impressive. I mean, these great shots. Orange as well joining on. And that just looks like Team Moop's going to have another pretty miserable game.
It just goes from bad to worse. And I really hate it, right? Because I love seeing an underdog story and I love talking about how a team of rises from the ashes of defeat to kind of prove their, it's
I am a sucker for an underdog story.
I'm a sucker of it. For it. And when I saw Unity and Tornado Energy do it, I was like, okay, now let it be Team Moop. But
wait for week 3 and they'll get first in everything.
Well, we saw from PG18 in the group stage, so
yeah, it can be done.
It can. Now, Hawkey is the only one that's left from Team Moops, if I'm not mistaken.
Sad little shed.
He's a sad man in a sad shack. Feels bad, man. But,
There we go. Okay. He had, down to the grenade. Quite fitting. If you're going to be in your tiny little shed, if anything's going to guarantee that you sort of get blown out of that, it is going to be one of those grenades.
Really tough. Really feel for Team Moops. But this game goes on. Quick Math connecting onto Tornado Energy. ToWzErA is across the road. He has the grenade. In fairness, Tornado Energy do know he's there. He's thrown a grenade out, but it's not in the direction that exactly where Melman was. A return grenade by Melman was a little bit too far, but that one connects. It knocks down ToWzErA. That will be kill confirmed with this next grenade. Point going over to Tornado Energy.
Yeah, and now that it puts Quick Math in a hard position because oftentimes what you kind of see is teams like to sort of rush forward and try and help, but because he was so close, there just wasn't anything he could do.
Now, a team I do want to mention as this game goes on, as KnorkiS was knocked down by Unity, grenades popping through. Airstation Mike, remember when I talked about Milky Way shifting to the northeast? Airstation Mike have actually done exactly that. So Airstation Mike are very confident and happy with taking that northeast position. But this game goes on, the fight goes on. BetterLuckNxTime in Unity. They're looking for each other. But look at all those smokes. Look at that wall. It's keeping Arctics alive, especially with that dip in his favor.
Yeah. And Fate, he's just trying to see what angles he can get. Hiding behind that smoke that's now gone down. So while he's laying in prone position, he's going to be a little bit more open. But Unity seemingly backing off somewhat. Now, I'm actually really interested in this rotation being made by Northern Lights because they've made such a wide rotation through the blue. They want to be coming in through that west side. Actually looking like it's going to be an okay gamble since we've got this new circle now, which is going to be all the way over to the left. So that's why we're going to start seeing these teams like Inside Gaming, like PG18 and Airstation Mike, they've got to make their rotations now.
Feels bad.
Yeah.
Now, at least the kind of, not the good thing for Airstation Mike, but not the worst thing is that when they do make their way up to the north, they don't have anybody around them. But the tough thing is that they can get the high ground, but if the circle then shifts down south, in the next phase, they're going to have to go downhill and across the road, and that's going to be very tough at that stage. But they kind of put themselves in that position. The circle didn't shift in the direction that they wanted to, so now their options are definitely becoming a bit more limited.
It happens, but now we're seeing Jokers see what they can get. But in the meantime, Orange bringing down the rest of BetterLuckNxTime. It's going to be sending them into the ground. Unity having another great game after having a little bit of a dip somewhat today. So it's nice to see them back on form. Still a little bit early. Things can go wrong, but if anything's to, you know, go by right now, been doing pretty well.
Now, ELGIG, the two houses they're in, the compound they're in isn't bad, but because you have Jokers in the high ground above, all they can potentially take, if Jokers are aware of this, is a couple of grenades, a couple of shots with the high ground could really get the better of ELGIGANTEN. But the good thing for them is that because Inside Games are down below, they could look to take advantage of Jokers exposing themselves too much.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm talking about. Set throws a grenade down, doesn't connect onto Airstation Mike. Airstation Mike did decide to go across the road, and not go on the north side compound. And honestly, yeah, that's the best of a tough situation for them. And they're still a full squad, so they'll be able to stay safe for now as Seth tries to connect onto anybody that he can get his hands on.
The interesting thing about the decision to try and connect onto PG18 is, well, actually, they've kind of stopped off now. I was wondering if they were going to kind of move around more to Airstation Mike, where it could have been more beneficial for him to just leave those two teams to their own devices, but instead it looks like they're going to be Airstation Mike's
pushing them away.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, you can kind of let those two fight while you watch from the side.
And that's what they'll probably do. But those initial shots were just to obviously try and catch them out in an opportunistic way.
He's kind of climbing up. He doesn't want Unity to know where he is. He's waiting for that really good shot. Quizzy's right there. Gonna connect. He does bring him down. Not quite going to be dead. Just okay. There we go.
Now he has to go back down the hill, trying to hide behind. But you also know that Wookie Bookie also knows that he has support from the rest of the team, and then they drive on through. That's going to be the point there where they say, okay, we've got one man down, we've got that man advantage, let's push on through. Orange backs away. Unity have looked pretty strong in this game so far. Orange has been on a roll as a player. And now he's just going to prone himself down. Anuktiv and Snoopy are in the background in that compound, so we see Anuktiv is providing that cover fire, but because Tempest have that rock as a protection against Orange, they can focus a little bit more into Anuktiv to push him back.
So now we're just seeing them trying to figure out which direction it is they'd like to go in. Do they deal with Orange? Do they move over towards where the rest of the team are? In fact, they're splitting up somewhat here. So Wookie Bookie is actually moving way more out to the left. Try and maybe get sights onto Anuktiv.
And may I just point out, like, it's phase 4, but we still have 54 players alive. We still have 14 teams.
Yeah.
At this next phase, this next circle shift, it's really going to put a lot of these teams under pressure and at a point where they have to start fighting against each other.
And that's where it's going to get difficult. And we're going to have loads of teams. In fact, we're starting to see these rotations down through the northeast as well. We're seeing a lot of gunfire happen over there. But right now, Klib seeing what he can get. He knows that Kajuti is over there. He's kind of just gone out of sight now, so maybe not going to work out for him. See if he can still get those sights, but I think he may just be out the way, but instead now we've got PG18 going up against InsideGames.
seniks gets caught out. Diesel's knocked down, but the revive should come through. Smoke grenade is going to try and protect his cover. We do see Wanderer with the grenades being popped out in his direction is going to keep himself going, but Zampeek connects onto Recurrent. Odstrelovac, Zampeek is there. Pixelix is there. The grenades being flying through from both teams. Pixelix does connect and confirm that kill onto Recurrent. All the while, Tab connects onto Firax of 3D Max, confirms that kill. Wanderer just using that wall as protection, trying to peek and shoot. We saw it in the last game what he did against QuickMath. Really put them on the back line, put them on the fire line. And can he make it count now? It's really important. Odstrelovac connects on the D's. He does get that kill down. Puts PG18 down to 2 players. It's Ubik and Wanderer. So that's going to be the call. Wanderer goes a little bit more forward, looking for Odstrelovac. They're dancing around each other right now. Odstrelovac does take down Wanderer, leaving Ubik on his own. And Ubik is out in the open. Prone's down. The smoke is there to keep himself, but he only has 28 health. It's going to be very, very hard for him to keep himself alive because you've got the 3-man side of InsideGames. He's also fighting against the blue zone, so it's very, very tough for him.
Yeah, he's managed to heal up now, but he's going to have to move if he doesn't want to be caught out. He's still out in the open trying to use that smoke, but it is going to disappear. But no, they know where he is. Zampeek's going to bring him down. So that is PG18 out of the game. But all these other fights going on here, Perfectus, we're looking at now. He knows where ToWzErA is. He's just waiting for him to come out the other side of the building. Hugstar's gone down, so that's not great for Airstation Mike, and just so many players from so many teams. Yeah. We commented on how so many players were still alive. That's down to 42 now, and we're getting the next circle still over to the west.
Yeah, 12 players lost in a matter of about 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. ToWzErA just going to keep himself going. The circle has shifted down to the southwest. Tornado Energy have a split 2-2 on the compounds. 3D Max are high above. You have YMCA down the south. Last screws up north. Airstation might do get taken down in 13th place. It was tough with the rotations that they decided to make as ELGIGANTEN and Milky Way. They're going off against each other. Austin connects onto Marcelek, takes it out, but a grenade by ghostar was able to eliminate iZoom, keeping just Offstring and DP, the remaining members of Milky Way.
Being able to support his teammate like that, but now the issue is MOORPHEUS is so low. Is ghostar going to go over to him and help out when he knows that Offstring and DP can actually see straight into where they are? This is a really bad position for ELGIGANTEN to be in if they want to be making it much further than where they are.
Now, KnorkiS is also kind of up north from where the rest of ELGIGANTEN are, and it's really hard for him to get to the rest of his teammates. As we see Tempest and Uni, they're going together. Jappy trying to connect onto Northern Lights. Northern Lights really up in that north, finding pressurized situation. Okay, bro gets knocked down. Rip with the grenade, trying to connect to confirm that kill onto Deep. Not quite for now. Throws out a smoke grenade. Uni are eliminated by InsideGames. InsideGames having a good game so far in the second Miramar map of the day. Jappy and Last Crew trying to connect and put pressure onto Northern Lights. It is against the blue zone. They do get taken out, but Jokers do take those kills away from Last Crew.
Well, this is still a fantastic opportunity for Last Crew to start making the rotation, ensuring that they are inside that next circle. They're right on the edge now. They're just trying to hide behind this slight mound that they have on the land. They can see where Tornado Energy are. They've also got Milky Way off to their left.
Oh, Wokey Bokey, how are you going to get away from this? It's a 1v3 fighting against the blue zone. No. The answer is, you ain't surviving that, as Pixel, Odstrelovac and Zampeek just drive on through on the edge of these circles, facing against the blue zone. But you know what? They're taking out these players one by one. When we look at the teams that have full squads left, it's YMCA, Tornado, and Jokers. Unsurprising
with Jokers especially. I think they've been doing great. And I mean, we were concerned earlier where they were sort of positioned themselves, where they're going to get caught out. But so far, it's been working great for them. And they are kind of one of the few teams on the map right now who are sort of in their own position. But they're going to have to potentially move a bit. Again, a West Circle.
What I love about Tornado Energy is we've seen other teams in these situations in previous phases when they see the circle go in their direction, they join back as a full squad. But Tornado Energy, they're so confident, they're actually holding on to the remaining compounds in a 2-2 split. And because they're actually popping shots off left, right, and center, they're giving the illusion to the players around them that there's full squads in each of those compounds. Therefore, no squad has gone near to breach where they are because they don't want to go down against a full squad or what they perceive to be a full squad. All the while, Milky Way, they're catching ELGIGANTEN out. ghostar is going to actually go against the vehicle. Connects, puts DP down to 2 health. DP has to then flank around. Ostring is also there down to 8 health. As ELGIGANTEN do get eliminated in the end, and DP is knocked down. Ostring is just going to revive himself up, and can he get the revive onto DP? Inside game, they had a strong game, but they get taken down by Quick Math in 8th place. We're down to 7 teams, 22 players.
And that was just such a brutal, brutal period of aggression there. I mean, especially, you know, we saw Jappy from last crew go down, and he's doing so much of the work for them. Now we're seeing DP as well for Milky Way full. Yeah, you're right, Jokers. They just have good sights onto where everybody is right now, but there's only 2 of them left. Oh, sorry, no, they're not.
No, it's a full squad.
I was thinking of last crew.
Well, here's the thing. Milky Way get eliminated, and I'm not going to disagree because normally at this stage of the game, we don't have any more than 2 Jokers members up, but they're full squad going into phase 6. It's a sight we don't normally see, and I absolutely love it because it shows the evolution they're making as a team. But they're going up against Tornado Energy as a full squad. They're going up against YMCA, who are a full squad. They're going up against 3D Max, who are 3, and Quick Math, who are also 3.
Okay, well, the tab going straight down there, so that's not going to be a full squad anymore for Jokers. Yeah, you just cast it. Congratulations. I hope you're proud of yourself.
I am.
But actually, now we're seeing the boom. Well, Seth's going to be very close on his tail, so they're going to make a rotation. Looks like they're going to go and engage straight into where Tornado Energy are. But Moon, not great.
I think he fell from a high ground coming off that vehicle, see?
Yeah.
Because he got out of that vehicle when it was just going a little bit too fast, and he ended up being knocked down. Noki will connect onto Sampula of YMCA. That'll put them under pressure. Kajudi is trying to throw a grenade to push 3D Max back. Both teams are kind of in the circle. Sakura is outside the circle. Turbo Banani's down the south side trying to find it, but Sakura has to try and find his way through. Sampula and Kajudi, who are inside the circle, they're going to be put under a lot of pressure by Phantom, Solar, and of course Noki of 3D Max.
Yeah, so Noki actually throwing some nades down there, trying to get to them. They managed to deal some damage on. Oh, Compot is in trouble, and Set is only around the corner.
See,
and none of his team are around.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's where Jokers had the confidence to push in on where Tornado Energy had that split. It is outside circle now because we had to shift it down south, and Tornado Energy are still a 3-man team, and they do have the only compound inside circle. It is low ground, so the likes of 3D Max and YMCA are generally kind of protected against them for now, but they have themselves to worry about, as well as Quick Math.
And also having lost Compo, I mean, he really can be quite a fragger for the team, so ideally not the guy you want to be losing, but it was a good play there and a sort of a good gamble from Jokers. And now they're starting to move down, getting closer to 3D Max now. We're seeing Set stay behind somewhat, but Phantom's getting ganged up upon. Noki as well by Jokers. Moon's just moving forward, ensuring these kills actually go down. So Phantom's going to be in the ground. We've cited how he's one of their kind of great players that you want to be keeping up. So that's definitely a shame for them. But these nades now being shared out. Solar's trying to see what he can do, but...
yeah, he's going to go down. The grenade
Not
went
enough.
into Shack.
Yeah.
Jokers get the better of them. They take their place. We're going to be down to 4 teams. We got 13 players left standing. You got a full YMCA squad. You got 3 men Quick Math. You got 3 men Tornado Energy. And you've got a 3-man Jokers pushing on through. Tornado Energy, they can just stay in that compound and let the teams around them do all the work, and they'll get the chicken dinner and pick up the pieces at the same time.
Well, at the end of the day, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier about sort of trying to convince other teams who's there, but they know they're there. But now we're seeing Enzo trying to deal some of that damage in onto DeBoom. He's going to be falling to his knees. It's going to cause a bit of an issue there for Jokers, who are occupying that high ground and probably thought that they were in a great position. But now we're seeing Moon kind of having to help his team members up. But YMCA and Quick Math going to be sparing some of their attention for one another. Those nades going in and out of each team.
Well, on the side of Jokers, you had the help of for YMCA by Quick Math that were kind of ganging up on Jokers. That's what forced them back. That's where those knockdowns came from. I love the fact that Melmain was flanking upwards to try and cause a little bit of pressure to keep Jokers on that red alert situation. The circle has shifted once again in the favor of Tornado Energy. It's still in the favor of Jokers, who one member Moon does hold on to that little shack. And it is also in the favor of YMCA, but YMCA are down in that dip and pinched by both Jokers and Quick Math.
We're actually seeing that pressure be laid onto them now. Peltzage trying to add some of that in. But Enzo for the side of Quick Math, trying to go back up to Jokers. But, oh my god, okay, things managed to get turned around. YMCA, we said that it was concerning. They were being pincered, but they just turned things straight around onto Quick Math, brought that team down, and now they can move forward a bit.
It was kind of like it was a little bit of karma in terms of we saw Quick Math put Jokers under a bit of pressure previously when Jokers were peeking onto YMCA, and then it got turned around where Quick Math were focusing so much more on Jokers that they forgot about the remaining members of YMCA, and that little bit of tunnel vision shined through, and we saw the grenade popping off. Great grenade by YMCA, and what's really more important is they stayed together as a 4-man team. We're in phase 9, we have 3 teams, and we have 10 players up. This is crazy. The center of the circle is right in between kind of where all these 3 teams are.
They're just going to be pushed closer and closer to one another until we start to see a repeat of earlier where we have all this aggression. Well, the Boom's going to be going down to Example. Still going to be shooting up there to try and confirm his kill, but Sakura's going to be stealing it from him. But Example manages to actually get some just desserts there and be able to turn things around. Talk about
Jokers. Moon. They're on 13 kills already. Gets it in the back of the head of Millman, takes him down. And now that's going to put Tornado Energy down to 2 players. Kajudi, he finds Joker's set. It's coming into the hands of YMCA. They took down Quick Math, and now they're able to focus on both Jokers and Tornado Energy. It's a 4v2, v1 with the high ground in the favor of YMCA.
Yeah, you're thinking the same thing. It is a 4-man squad still. They have this advantage. Looking like they're going to be moving around somewhat. Well, no, Ali is still fairly safe, but the pressure is still there. Just because he survived that one doesn't mean he always will. There is a nade coming up towards YMC. It is going to be connecting, so that's going to change some of their attention. Example's going to be going down to Moon, though, but Sampula's going to be feeling the heat as well.
I love Moon is a 1-man army. Moon, time and time again, has shined through. You can say he's been above the rest of the players in a lot of ways. And Tornado Energy, they do get taken down by YMCA. It becomes a 3v1. He dies to the play zone, denies that kill point, and YMCA take that chicken dinner with 9 kills. But Tornado Energy, they had the circle, they had that compound. Jokers with at least 13 kills. I think it was 14 in the end, and a 2nd place finish. And YMCA, like we saw, chicken dinner and 9 kills.
I mean, it's kind of crazy because Tornado Energy were the team that we were calling out as being the one. They're in the advantageous position. They're doing well. And then Compot went down because he was further ahead. And that's where things started to turn because we were like, okay, they're still holding the compound. we thought YMCA were going to be in trouble because of the pincer. They took Quick Math down so quickly, and that's where things were just so in their favor after that moment.
Like, the benefit for them is that they had the compound, but the negative, and I point out, was that it was low ground.
Yes.
So even though there's multiple teams in the high ground, the team that survived the high ground fight, which was YMCA, because Jokers actually went down to the compound in the end on that final phase, had that advantage.
Yeah.
And it went over to YMCA.
Yeah, they just had such great sights.
And you got to say, they dealt so well against both Quick Math and Jokers.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was fantastic because it was a really interesting game overall because we had a lot of people lasting quite far into the game, and then there was that sudden wave of a lot of kills happening in a very short amount of time. And then it was a little bit more of people, lasting, and then again another wave of a lot of people going down in a swift time.
And I do want to commend the teams that went for the rotations that were different, or they stuck to their guns of, let's say, like Airstation Mike, they went to the northeast. Yeah. That Milky Way we're in, who went to the northwest.
Yeah.
It kind of didn't work out for either of those teams, but I got to commend them for trying it.
Yeah.
And sticking to it. And it's just one of those things. That's where the kind of RNG aspect of the circles can just go against you. But when you go for that rotation and you go for that play, if it pays off, great. But if it doesn't, look, at least we tried, guys, and we stuck to something.
I mean, a really good sort of example of this is Jokers, because in the last game of Miramar, they went up to, that kind of northwest area. It didn't work out for them. They had to make a massive rotation. And then this time, they went to the same area, but where the circle ended up being, it did work out for them. It allowed them to get in a good position early on, which is something that is very important, and just put them in a much better situation where they could last so much longer.
Definitely. So we have 3 teams getting 0 points in this game. Airstation Mike, better luck next time, and Team Oops. Look, for Airstation Mike, it might drop them out of the
first
top
place
spot. It might. But look, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world for them. But better luck next time, and Team Oops. They're 16th and 15th. Those are the 2 teams that for them, they do not want to see them anywhere near that part of the standings.
Yeah. Well, Jokers obviously sitting up on the top there, 21 points. Yeah.
15 kills.
I know. It is. It's pretty brutal.
Team. I really do.
They're so much fun to watch.
The evolutions they've made.
I know. They just improve. I mean, we said it earlier, but they improved so much over the course of the first week. But yeah, there we go. We can see our damage leaders, and actually TheTab and Moo very close together there, both from Jokers, of course.
Of course.
All
4 of Jokers are in the damage. I know you got top 10, but all 4 of their team are in there. When you look at the kills, the Boom has 6, Tab has 4, Moon has 4. And it shows you how strong Jokers are as a team when they do go together.
Yeah.
So if they take that and kind of go, wait, this worked for us, guys. I know we rotated well, but hey, we were like a full team by phase 6. Let's look to do that again.
Yeah. It's sort of like they're used to this play style where they all kind of split up and do something a bit different. And now they're staying together a little bit more, but we've spoken about how you need to use your skills to your advantage, and they're using that, their ability to deal in damage, their ability to be aggressive, and it is working out for them.
Definitely indeed. That's 3 games over and done with. Miramar is out of the way. 2 fantastic games, 2 crazy games. Now we get on to Sandhawk. Gonna have a short break, couple of minutes, refresh yourselves, and then we're gonna be going into the jungle. See you guys soon.